Hi, it's Neil Walters of neilsvideos.com, and in this video I want to tell you more about gasoline and actually give you a demo on how to do it. So I'm going to go to the Townstar Godot, the new system we have, hit play, and I already have a town that was started here from my earlier video, which was beginning Townstar, where I showed some basic functionality of the game. So this is just a very basic town where I have three windmills and a couple of sheep going. Okay, so you want to basically make some cash first. So basically I'm going to tell you, build as many sheep pens as you can. That's going to make wool. Turn auto sell on your wool, and we're going to assume that that's done. And like I said, right now, it's by in the last video I said that up here they're giving us $10 million to play with in this temporarily in the Townstar Godot. And so I'm just going to go ahead and spin that. Like, I watched a couple other people's videos and they were quite lengthy on how to build the industrial complex. I'm going to see if I can do a shorter one, but I'm going to go ahead and use the full cash available, because really if you need cash, you just got to build enough sheep pens and or sell something like sugar or flour. Okay, but go for the sheep pens. That's the easier beginner way to do it. So I'm going to do the exact same format I did before. So now, since I'm in a forest, I'm going to have to destroy a bunch of trees here. And that does cost a lot of money. So let's just start doing it. I'm going to get rid of these, that one, and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove them in a square. I'm basically trying to show you not how to do it, but teach you how to think about how to do it, okay? Because learning how to think this game is what's really important. I want to make you successful in that respect. So killing the trees or clearing the trees is 20,000. Unfortunately, clearing rocks is 40,000. So twice as expensive as the trees. And the marshes cost a little money to remove as well. However, the ponds, you actually get money if you sell those. So let's get rid of these marshes right here. I might be over clearing just a wee bit, but that's okay. I'd rather have a faster video and then show you something quickly instead of making you wait a couple hours. Okay, so now there's different patterns for doing it, but what I like to do is start with this little borders on here which I use roads for. So I'm going to go to the build symbol here. I'm going to go to the block up here which indicates terrain, and on there we have our dirt road, and I'm going to click that. There'll be $1,000 each, and I like what I call the belt line. Like, I live in Dallas, and we actually have a road called Beltline that kind of goes around a lot of Dallas. And so I kind of do the same thing in my towns here. I build a belt line. A lot of people don't do that. So there's different strengths and strategies of ways to do things. So sometimes I'll even start my roads early. Let's see, I don't know why it did that, why my quick buy disappeared, because I was able to do a quick buy, but I clicked something and it went away. So now I got to go do this again. I want it to be green so it lands right on that square. Again, quick buy. Now when you're building things, I'll tell you what, while I'm building the road, I'm going to go ahead and stick right here. I'm going to go to a new thing. I'm going to build a lumber yard. A lumber yard is the same as a woodshed, except a woodshed holds 10 items and a lumber yard holds 20. So it costs a little more. Has to be placed near a road, and I'm going to stick it right there. And what I'm going to do is in the corner here, I'm going to remove that tree. I'm going to put a builder house. The builder house is on the industrial tab, and it's the second one, builder house, $2,500. And I can put him in the corner because he does not require a road. So when you use this beltline concept, if you put it all the way around your city, you'll have 4 corners that can't hold anything else. Okay, or I take that back. They can't hold anything that requires a road because there won't be any road for that corner slot. Sorry, I didn't have my microphone set in the right place. Hope the sound is a little better now. So I'm going to continue with this road here. The reason, again, I'm sort of doing the road is it gives me an outline of what I'm doing. Now, I've done this so many times that I basically have it memorized, right? And you can draw it on a piece of paper if you want, or there's a tool. I'm going to do another video on the most popular tools for Townstar. And there's a website where you can actually um, lay out your town in practice mode before you build it here, okay? Sometimes I use that tool, sometimes I don't. Now, the pattern is you're going to need a couple water pumps, and you do need a pond, but these ponds, unfortunately, are not where I want them to be. So I'm going to kill them, which will bring me in $5,000 of cash. Okay. Now, once I remove that, see, that may affect my little sugar crop up here. Maybe not. We still have we have four marshes there for now that'll keep giving that water. Let's double check. So as soon as the farmer harvested, yeah, see, I'm still getting four waters for that. I put the salt here earlier just as a demo. I'm going to remove that. There's no use for the farmer having to get the salt. That was another demo I was doing in the prior video. And actually, I don't want any salt sitting in my silo up here. So let's check the silo. Yeah, see, it's not called salt here. It's called brine. So what I'm going to do is just flush that. There's really no way to get out just four items. So if I do flush, it's going to get rid of everything in the silo. But for now, I'd rather just do that. The other thing I could do is build another silo over here. We can do that later. So this is going to be a no NFT build. I'm just using the tools that you'll have as a beginner. So now we have the lumber yard, and what we're going to need is a lumber mill. But the lumber mill is going to need water from a water pump, so we're going to put the water pump here, and that means we need a pond right here. So we're going to go here back to terrain, and we're going to build a pond. Now we get the squares. Yeah, the squares are not as obvious when you're not in the build mode. So let's see. It's going to go right there. Now, to build a water pump, you're going to have some, sorry to say lumber, but the word is oak. Oak, okay? So we're going to put an oak tree right here. Probably a couple of them. This first. This is how the game has changed. So I go to the farm. I go down to oak trees. So there are different types of wood in the game. Right now, I think it's just oak and regular wood. I'm going to put it next to these ponds. I'll get rid of that marsh, and I'll put another oak tree right there. Click the build again here and put that there. Now let's check the timers on these. We want to make sure they're green. And oak takes 2 minutes to grow, as you can see here. Yeah, so the timer's going down. So what we need is some lumberjacks over here that are going to put that lumber in this building. See, the building's already being filled up with normal wood because we have our other lumberjacks who bring in regular wood into here. So for now, I'm just going to put a lumberjack house, for example, right here. So I'll go to build mode. There's the lumberjack house, must place near a road. I'm going to stick him right there. And I'm going to kill this tree. You don't kill the trees normally as fast as I'm killing them. You got to have the money up here first because they cost so much, right? Okay. So now here we're going to build a water pump. Actually, we can't build it yet until the pond is full. So now you have 2 out of 10 water here. And so you're just going to have to wait until these little builders carry 10 waters over there. What we could do to speed things up a little bit is add a couple of water wells maybe. There's a regular water well, and then there's a faster one called a wind pump. The wind pump also brings water out of the ground. So to me, it's easier normally to do the wells. The reason you want to do the wind pump is to save space if you're getting short on space. So I'm probably going to get rid of these in a few minutes. But right now, I did it again. So it looks like if you click off that, your quick buy goes away. There's going to be little bugs like that, I think. So this is a whole new system, a whole new game engine they're using. Now that's going to need wood, And I could probably use another little builder house over here. So let's go to industrial tab again, go to builder house, and let's stick one right here. It doesn't need that street or road actually, but anyway, that's a pretty good place for them. So now I have more workers to speed my work along. Actually, I'll just add another one here too. I mean, I'm more interested right now in just doing a fast video for you guys. So I'm spending money kind of carelessly in a way, just to make the video go faster. Okay. I apologize. Sometimes I pause my video to clear my throat or something, and I need to go back and see where I recorded last. Okay, I need to apologize. Apparently hit pause a while ago, and I was actually thought I was recording when I really wasn't. So let's review. I started a pond over here, and that pond is now finished. I put a lumber mill right here. It is now finished, but it's going to need energy. So I said we're going to come over here and create some wind turbines, or turbines, right? And so this one is fast. This one is fast. And even when I put this one down here, I said I think it's going to be slow, but I couldn't find a better place for it without wasting a lot of time. But let me show you how that works. So this puts out 3 shades. You got to count 3, 2, 1, and then 1 again. So see, it's getting 1 shade from that, and vice versa. This wind turbine is going to probably give 1 shade to this windmill. So remember, windmills create grind crops, and wind turbines make energy. So I decided I'm going to build another one right here in that spot. So let's do that right now. And again, okay, no, you didn't see this part. So the turbines were on the industrial page, and they're going to be at the bottom under wind turbine. Right there. I'm going to stick it right here. The reason I'm putting it there is I did the count. So from here, see, it's 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's a good spot where it's not going to have any interference. It's not going to get any from him or from him. I don't think this building is going to cause it a problem. If it does, I'll just delete the building and put it somewhere else. So that way I have 4 wind turbines going. Now, these two, I can't show you them running right now because they've already run. And if I click on it, it should say like ready. That's what I used to say. There, see, ready. So that means it created an energy unit or a battery, and that battery is sitting there waiting to be picked up. So we need a picker-upper, a worker. So we're going to go back over here to the store, the free store, well, the in-town store, and we're going to go to industrial tab, and this is your worker house. It's the blue one, $2,500 for this type of worker. And I'm going to put him over here. Actually, I'll probably put a couple of them on here. Because in the future, he's probably going to be doing work on things in this neighborhood. Okay. I got a little slow there. Okay. Let's stick him right there. And if I only had 1 or 2 turbines, 1 worker would be enough. But for this many turbines, I think I need another worker. So let's do this again. And I'm going to try putting one right here. Now we need a warehouse. So I want the warehouse to be next to my lumber yard here or up here, probably on the right side there. So we're going to back up. The warehouse is the blue one. It will hold 20 items. And sometimes you build more than one of these as well. I'm going to stick it right. Okay. So now we're waiting on the wood to be delivered to those. Remember not the worker house, but the construction house are the little guys that pick up the wood and they carry it to the new building. See, there's like 4 of them running around right there. Kind of small. And again, you can zoom in on your screen and such if you want to. Now here comes the first worker. See, he's coming over here and he's going for this battery in one of these 2 wind turbines. Okay, let's watch him for just a second so you learn how that works. Okay, he's got that one. He's got it under his arm. And now this wind turbine starts again. Going to create the next energy for 2 minutes. And these timers over here will be on 1 minute. See, if we look at this one, we have a 1 minute timer. It's already more than halfway done. I'm just guessing it's a minute, but I think that's about right. Ooh, that one's in the shade. So let's get rid of this house. Remove him. When we remove that house, it should probably go green. Yeah, I think it just finished almost instantly. Okay, so that one should be green now. If we need another constructor house, we'll put him like over here somewhere. Let's do that. Let's build one more constructor. Because I'm building so many buildings right now. It's good to have a lot of the little constructor houses. That's the very top of the industrial screen here. And it doesn't need a road, so put it right by Mr. Farmer there. All right. Now you see, oh, we didn't show you that, but the worker just carried it over here to the blue warehouse, and we opened the blue warehouse. We see there are 2 energy in it now. Okay. So meanwhile, we want to check on our oak. So I hope that this part may not have got recorded earlier. I built these two little oak farms over here, and doggone it, they were green, but now when I put the wind turbine here, they turned yellow. So that means I slowed them down by putting them in this wind factor here. Okay, not good. And we want to come look at this lumber yard. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, we got 5 oak, so that's good enough to get started. So right here, I want to build a water pump. So I'm going to go to the industrial tab. Water pumps are built next door to a pond only. They can't be diagonal. I think they have to be adjacent to it. And here is the wood pump. And see, it takes 3 oak and 3 wood. That's why we had to get our oak started earlier. So it's kind of a timing to these things, right? Okay, so that's getting started. And what we're going to do is build another water pump on the north side of this pond in a little while. Now, I'll go ahead and start this guy, start the lumber mill. So I'm going to say craft lumber. And this again is more for teaching purposes. So see how immediately he went across the street and he grabbed some wood out of the woodshed. He's pretty fast. Wow, he's actually really fast. Now he's going somewhere else. Why? If you look at it, he needs, wow, he got those woods really fast. He needs 5 wood and he also needs 2 energies or 2 batteries. So see, he's walking over here to grab his batteries and we have 5. And so he's going to grab one that takes us down to 4, right? And now he should grab one more wood and then he should make our first lumber. But he needs water as well. He needs a water drum, right? Now, you could build something called a water facility. I'm tempted to build one of those just to show you what it's like. So I will do that. So let's go over here. Actually, not yet. I want to make sure I have an empty space for it. So let's say right here, let's remove that little marsh. And again, this is for demo purposes. I'm not doing it necessarily in a very logical place. And before I build it, I think it needs a road. Let's go grab a road here. And let's stick the road in front of that. Give it 30 seconds to build. The road doesn't take any wood or anything, so it's really fast. Now we're going to go build a water facility. So that's on the industrial tab. I'm going to go down to the bottom, water. You have water pump and you have water facility. So we're going to grab that one and I'm going to stick it here. I'm putting it next to a pond so that it basically fills up faster. Otherwise, it has to tote the water from the water wells. So now you notice my little lumber guy over here is asleep. Well, no, now he woke up again. I don't know why he went to sleep. I have enough money. Oh, maybe he was just waiting on wood. We have 6 wood. We have 2 lumber already. Okay, that's good. Probably going to have a wood shortage here. So you're always looking for what you're short of in this game. And I'm going to pan out or zoom out by using my right mouse roller key. And this is my town right now. So I still have quite a few trees that are natural, original trees to the game. But at some point, you're going to need to build tree farms. So let's come over here. Let's remove some marshes. Three of them here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put tree farms there. So that just in case I'm not watching and all these trees here get cut down, I want to have trees that regrow themselves faster, basically. So a tree farm will grow a lot faster than a natural tree. And tree farms are going to be back under the farm, and they're going to be down under a tree, of course. Right there, it's 500 bucks. Put that. And I was going to put one here. And I'll do a quick buy, and I'll do two more. Oh, see, again, another problem. That one's getting, it's not going to be fast because of the shade. This is, sorry, this is just what makes Townstar fun and challenging, right? Let me cancel that one. So where can I put a tree farm that's currently not getting any shade? Hmm. I'm used to playing with the river on the left side, so usually I do things a little bit differently. There's no shade up here, it looks like. So, okay, I'm going to get rid of this, remove that tree, which we know is expensive, remove that marsh. Now we're going to do a quick buy. And let's put a tree here. And before I build the second one, let's make sure it's going to be a fast one. But yeah, it's green, 29 seconds. So it takes 30 seconds basically to build a tree. If you look at these other trees here, like this one, these will take anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes, depending on their how far they are from other things, shade and stuff. Okay, so now I think I could also use probably another couple of lumberjacks. All right, now I have two, and now I need another road for one. So like now, where can I squeeze in another lumberjack that doesn't slow down one of my windmills, right? So I see there's like going to be a spot over here. If I have the money to remove that road, I mean that tree, we remove that. And then we can remove this tree here. And again, you can rotate your city if you want to see what's back there. You can do the right mouse key and see there's another dumb little tree right there. So let's kill that one, remove it. So I could put one road right here and put a lumberjack on each side of it, maybe. So I'm looking for a terrain road. Right. Seconds. Now we're going to go for lumberjacks. They're on the farm page. Lumberjack, lumberjack. Where are you? Here he is. And remember, they don't need wood to build one of those. Quick buy to get another one. Stick him right here. Okay, so this video is probably already 25 minutes, right? And we're, like I said, we're spending money as basically as fast as we can, assuming that we have this infinite money supply, because we're going to assume that you built probably 10 different cheat pins and your money's just coming in, okay? So now those guys are going to help me keep my wood storage down here going. And you know what? I'm going to see if I need another one of these. It's my inventory. Okay, if I keep my eye on this, I can deal with just one of them, but I'm probably going to need another one later. So just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and put another one here. I'm used to playing with an NFT, which will hold 60. So it's like you don't play with your NFTs because of my teaching here. Some things that I'm used to get harder. Okay, so oh, remember this guy over here? We never watched him. He's making water drums. So we built him a while ago, but watch. See that little guy there? He comes out. Well, that's the constructor. So anyway, there's a guy in there. A lot of buildings have their own workers built with them. And he'll put his water drums over here. See there, you got 4 water drums. So I just did that to illustrate that, for example, if I didn't have a water pump here, I could deliver the water drums manually from that warehouse. But since I do have a water pump, I'm getting passive water drums, and that's the smarter way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy here, or at least I'm going to turn him off. So to turn somebody off, you can say craft stop. Most things you can turn off. The crops, you can't really do that, but most of the buildings you can. So what we need next is a paved road. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and start the water pump too. So we need another water pump right here. I'm going to the industrial tab. I'm going down to water pump. I wish there was a slightly faster way of getting to these things. Slash water or something. No, I did a water facility. That's not right. Cancel. My mistake. We'll make mistakes. There's water pump right there. And I'm going to stick it on the other side of my pond. And you'll see why in a minute. But I talked about this in my prior video. It's like I almost build my my gas facility or my industrial complex the same way almost every game. So I pretty much got this down. So across from the water pump right here, we're going to need a paved road. So I haven't actually done a paved road in this Godot game yet. There it is. It's still the same. So you click the road and then you do the upgrade option. So I'm going to click upgrade. It's going to cost you 29,000 smackers, one lumber, and 3 woods. Okay, and so your little construction workers should start on that, and I can build one here as well. Eventually, I want to pave probably this whole area, but I want to show you the minimal thing that you have to do to get your gas plants going. So now you see there's several things being built at once. We got the water pump, we got 2 paved roads. We're still making lumber here. The lumber is draining energy out of the warehouse. And let's see here, we have 12 energy in the warehouse, so that's good. So our 1, 2, 3, 4 turbines are more or less putting enough energy. Yeah, right now they're putting enough energy in there to make our lumber, which is good. See how much lumber I have here. That I've got 8 lumber, and it's going to take 10 lumber to build a power plant. So that's the other reason we need lumber. So we needed lumber to build our paved roads. That was the first thing. And then we're going to need 10 lumber for every power plant. I think the refinery is just 10 woods. The power plant, let's just go look at it. So you can find out what the requirements are by either going to the Townstar Play Guide, or you can come here to the purchase screen and find the item you're interested in building. There's power plant, and here it tells you I need 10 lumber, 10 wood, and 10 energies. That's to build it, okay? And then once you do that, you're going to be paying $450 a minute to run the thing, because the worker is going to charge you that in salaries or wages, right? And it's going to cost you $250,000 to build it. For some reason, gas plants are cheap and power plants are expensive. I don't know how they came up with these prices, okay? Seems like they'd be a little closer to each other. I can't build it quite yet because it needs a paved road, so I don't have my roads paved yet. I could go ahead and build a refinery now if I wanted to, and I will do that. So I can build it here. Let's do that. So go back to here. Let's build a refinery. It does not require a paved road. So normally I would probably build the power plant first. And the reason is the gasoline is going to take electricity or energy as well. So without energy, it's hard to power your refinery. Now these paved roads are done, the two I need, right? So I guess I'm ready. I have enough money. So let's make sure this guy's getting started here. So it needs 10 wood. You see, I don't have 10 wood there, do I? Not this one. That's empty. We got a wood shed over here. Scroll down here. It's got 6 wood in it. Okay, let's check the progress here of this refinery. Double click it. It's got 4 out of 10 wood. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the. It depends how bad you want it. If you wanted gas really, really bad, I wouldn't build the power plant yet. I would let this thing finish so I could turn it on. Because once I build other buildings here, they're going to probably be competing for the same wood. I don't know if there's really a first in, first out sequence. Like it seems like it would finish the oldest building first, but I don't think it always works that way. Now I'm going to go over here and go for the power plant. And notice I can't put it here. So even though that's an even square, the problem is there's no paved road there. I'm going to stick it here, though, where we do have a paved road, and voila. Now, when you make gas, it's going to go into a storage tank. So up here at the beginning of the game, you see they gave me a storage tank, and they gave me 40 gas, or fuel tank, storage tank. I think they call it a storage tank. Fuel storage. Okay, so anyway, it had 40 gas in there, and every time I've been selling stuff like my wool, I've been using a gallon of gas to sell it. Okay, so that's why you have to get this stuff down here so you don't run out of gas. So instead of making our little workers walk all the way across the town and put the gas here, what I want to do is build a storage tank down here. And for some reason, when your truck goes, the fuel just flies to the truck. It doesn't need to be close to the truck, which is a little weird. So right here, I'm going to build a storage tank on the industrial tab. I think it's under S for storage. It's going to be under F for fuel. Maybe it's fuel. Oh, we got to build some crude oil pumps too. Okay, so we got other things to build. I'm going to stick you right there. And now we're going to build some crude oil pumps. So for now, I'm going to stick them right in this neighborhood. And I did demonstrate this in my prior video, if you happen to see that one. So I'm going to go to the industrial tab, and I'm looking for this oil pump. This pulls crude oil out of the ground and puts it in barrels, and then those barrels are stored over here in the warehouse. Okay, I'm not sorry, not the warehouse. They go in the storage tank, the fuel storage tank. Oh, I can't put it there because there's no road. Okay, I have a road here though. Put one there. Now I'm going to have to build some more roads. So I'm going to get rid of this pond. I mean, well. Remember, the reason I put the well there was to speed up the building of my pond. Now I'll build a few more roads. Go back to terrain, dirt road. And let's stick one here. And another one above it. And I'm going to go above it again. And right now, let's see. Okay, so now my sugar is going to be a problem if I start building oil tanks near it. So I'm going to take my sugar and move him over here. I think I have one of my windmills doing sugar. That was just for demo purposes as well. Let's go to the farm. Mr. Farm, where are you? You're here. And I'm going to look for sugar. Sugar cane. Sugar cane. And I'm going to try to stick it right here where the water is. I don't think the water facility has any detrimental issues. I guess it does. It's slightly gray, slightly yellow. We'll put another sugar right next to it. Again, it's not bad that one or two of your sugars might be not green, but you want the majority of them to be green where possible. That one's brown or gray as well. Well, for now, I'm just going to build another one. It's like I don't want to deal with sugar right now. I want to deal with my industrial plant. Okay. Excuse me. So remember, I was building crude oil pumps, and I think okay. Now, see, everybody's waiting on wood. So that's why I built a couple extra lumberjacks, and it looks like they're still not keeping up with the lumber, right? I mean the wood. So right now I have no wood down here and no wood here because this guy just ate up 10 wood. This guy wants 10 wood. And actually he's used up 10 wood. He's just waiting for energy right now and checking our warehouse, our energy. We still have 7, so that's not bad. So that wood will come in a minute from whatever we just were talking about. So this guy is waiting on wood. Okay. So now let's come over here and build maybe another tree farm or two. Do a farm. See, this is where it gets more fun. You have to juggle all these different things in your mind as to what's going where, what's a shortage of what causes something else to have a shortage, and then where do you build, where do you stick the things you build, where do you have like the water for your trees, where do you have, um, like here, these are not going to be green, but anyway, they're going to be tree farms nevertheless. If I put one over here, I wouldn't have enough water maybe. So now I'm just making some compromises. That's going to be bad because it's next to a windmill. Ugh, nowhere good in there. There's really not too many good places. Maybe right here. I'm going to put him where that meadow was. That's taking away a bit of food from my cows. Oh, it won't let me put it there. I guess I have to destroy the meadow first. Okay, cancel that. We'll just wait for our wood slowly. So there we got our first pump jack, and now we're going to build a couple more. Remember, I was going to get rid of this sugar here. Sugar cane, technically. Sugar is the product that comes out of milling sugar cane. One more road. Well, let's talk about something else while I'm doing this. Um, the first day of a competition is the most important because you've got to get your industrial complex here, your gasolines all built, and you got to get something going to make money. And you can see here that even though I have all the money to start with, how much time it takes. It's going to take me like another probably 20 minutes or more to do what I'm trying to do here. Okay. So since the competition starts at Tuesday, guess what? A lot of us have jobs, right? We work 8 to 5 or whatever time you work, but you're probably going to be working part of Tuesday, right? So you're going to come home Tuesday night, and if you want to be in the competition and try to place in the upper 1200, I think, is where you get the rewards. Then I get my mind back what I'm doing. I'm looking for a oil pump. So you have to come home at night and play at night. Now you can do other things, like you can go have dinner and come back while it's building these little buildings, right? It's not like you always have to be sitting here every minute doing something. So you can go like, well, again, watch a YouTube or something. But at first, the more time you spend in your game, I think the better you'll succeed. Seems like a little frozen there. Ooh, and I'm building 4 of these crude oil pumps here to start with. Okay, so let's look at our storage tank. Okay, that first guy hasn't made any right now. He's just now finishing his first crude oil. I think it's 2.5 minutes to make it. So now it says ready. So I believe it's our construction worker over here, the same guy that's carrying the batteries, is going to come and carry that crude oil. So to me, that implies I'm going to need a couple more of those guys because I need two to just to carry the batteries, and now I'm going to need another one or two to carry the gas around, right? So I'm going to have to kill another tree down here. Which again costs a lot of money. That one. Now, if you're in a desert, it won't cost as much because the desert doesn't have as many trees. But you'll have to build your tree farms sooner in the desert. That's the pros and the cons of the desert. We are right now what's called in a forest biome. Okay, what was I going to do? I was going to build worker houses. So I'm going to go to the industrial tab, go down to the bottom, the blue worker house. Another one right here. Okay, now let's check again our tank over here. It's not good. Where did my? Oh, it's probably already in the refinery. Okay, the refinery is on. So one of these guys already ate it. Okay, the power plant ate it. Okay, so the power plant. Let's go through these. The power plant to make power sucks up one water out of your water pump, and if you don't have a water pump, it would have to go get a water drum. Then it needs two crude oil to make another energy. So right now, I'm going to turn him off. Since I have four wind turbines, I'm going to pretend I don't need any more energy. It's always nice to have more energy. So if we go look over here in my warehouse, see, I have 14 energy. So right now, I'd rather funnel my, excuse me, funnel my crude oil to start making gas. Okay. Now the refinery, I have not turned it on. You have to do like that's weird. The power plant automatically starts trying to make energy. Okay. You don't have to hit the craft button. But when an item like a refinery is built, you have to hit craft because there is different things it can make. Okay. So you have to tell it which one of these three items you want to make. So I'm going to have it make petroleum because here's the sequence. Crude oil, two crude oils basically make a petroleum plus water plus batteries. And then to make gas, it's one of these. One petroleum goes over here plus two waters plus six batteries. So you notice I only had 14 energies or 14 batteries in my warehouse. So that's why we need power plants, which we'll get to in a minute, is to make our gas faster because you can't have enough wind turbines to generate enough batteries to keep your refineries really going. So I did craft and I turned it on here. Let's just show you for two crude oils should go in and one petroleum should come out in a little while. And now you can see I got all four of these crude oil pumps working. I can rotate them and make them all go the same way. Let's check how we're doing on wood and lumber. Ooh, no wood. Ooh, I got four oaks. Actually, I don't need oaks right now. So I'm going to go ahead and kill these oak trees because all I really needed them for right now was the water pumps. The water facility also needs an oak, but for now, there's nothing else I'm going to be building that really needs an oak. So I'm going to kill those trees now that I have the oak that I need. They can be used for other things, like there's something called an oak barrel, which is used in a winery to make a bottle of wine and then make a cask of wine, actually. Oh, look at that pollution there. That's pretty cool. You may have missed part of that graphic, but pretty cool. So they when it's actually kicking out the oil or the petroleum, it makes this huge fire and smoke coming out of it, and then you're going to see somebody's going to carry it and put it over here in the there. Yeah, there's the petroleum already there. So remember, crude oil gets turned into petroleum, and petroleum gets turned into gasoline. Okay, so I'm wondering where all my wood is. Why don't I have more wood? I guess because I just built so many things. Still have a woodshed here, but it's zero. So just let's recap where all the wood is going. Every one of these windmills takes a wood every time it grinds down wheat to flour. So some of your wood's going to be going to those every few minutes. And it looks like I'm just kind of in a little bit of a wood shortage. I have trees over here that are standing waiting to be cut. So what that tells me is I still need more lumberjacks to create all the wood that I need. So it looks like here's a spot I might be good for a lumberjack right there. We need a road. Go back to the farm. Look for Mr. Lumberjack. I'm gonna stick him right there. And where else can I put one? If I put it here, it might have a little shade on my wheat crop. This little corner up here looks good. I'll need another road. Actually, right there. See, there's a road. No, it's next to my crops. You don't want it right next to your crops. Frustrating, isn't it? Here, I'm going to kill some more trees. And again, I know it's expensive. But we're going to do it. There's 20 grand to get rid of that tree. And 20 grand to get rid of this tree. And we'll put a road there. There's different theories on how to build your roads. Let's talk about those. So I'm going to go here. If you put one road, you can basically get 4 buildings around it, right? So you can put one to the left, one to the right, one above, and one below. Okay. The other approach is sort of the belt line concept, where you're going to have more roads, which are going to speed up your workers, but on the other hand, you might have less spaces for your houses. Now I'm going to go back and add maybe 2 more lumberjacks, give or take. So I'm going to go back to the farm, lumberjack, and we're going to stick one here, another one, quick buy, and then stick the second one right here. Now, as we just sit back and watch a few minutes, which we may or may not do, but we should see our trees starting to get cleared down now, and our tree supply or inventory of our trees should start slowly going up. Like there's those 2 guys are already bringing back lumber or wood from these trees they just cut down. They're going to put them in the closest woodshed to where they are. And that means my construction workers are going to have to grab that wood, carry it all the way across my city or my town. So, it's like when he's coming down this road here, see that these 2 roads you notice are not connecting. So what I could do to help my little workers out, I could go back to roads here, grab that, and I could stick a road here. And I'm going to delete that marsh and grab a road and stick right there. So now, see, our guys don't have to cut across the green field. They're going to get around a little bit quicker. So having a road right through the middle of your town, maybe even an X across your town, is another way to kind of think about it, so that your workers will be able to move faster and get what they need to do accomplished faster. There was another blast of energy coming out of that. Now we have 4 petroleum already. So we're going to build our next refinery right here. It's going to need 10 wood. So that's why I was so concerned about the wood. We have 0. Oh, I know. There's the other problem. Duh. Let me turn off my lumber mill. So my lumber mill is eating the wood and turning it to lumber. It takes 5 wood to make 1 lumber. But now I know that I only need 10 lumber to make my power plant. So I have enough lumber. So now if I stop making lumber, we should see the wood inventory here start to go up. And sure enough, see there, he looks like he threw that one on the road. This one's full. That seems like a bug. Should have taken that wood to the second lumber yard right here. Oh, now they are. It is doing it now. That was weird though. Okay, so anyway, now we're getting wood. So we need 10 wood to make the refinery. We're going to go back to the industrial store tab. We're going to go look for R for refinery. Click on this. Must place near a road. Doesn't have to be paved though. Only the power plant requires a paved road. So we need 10 wood and $15,000. Always check your money up here to make sure you have $15,000 plus some padding before you build something, because you don't want to run out of money and your workers all go on strike. That's a terrible thing. Okay. Now you can sell a building. Like if you really ran out of money, you could delete your power plant and you get $62,000. But you look over here, you're spending $3,000 a minute, right? So of course, if you delete that, that would also delete a few $100s a minute. But anyway, let's say you're spending $3,000 a minute. That would give you 20 minutes of activity in your town to fix your issues before you run out of money again. Okay. So now let's get that guy going. He's got 5 out of 10 wood. That's going pretty fast. Let's check our inventory. There's 3 wood and 2 wood. Also over here, you can see how many wood you have. It's the faster way. This will add up all your wood and all your different wood storages. So whatever this has, plus this one, I have 16 wood. I have, scroll down here, you can see I have 13 lumber. I have 4 oak. I have 14 wheat. And eventually you'll learn what these symbols are. Oh, and they have a little tooltip now. Thank goodness. I recently was complaining that some of these were so small and similar that it was hard to tell the difference. But now if you mouse over it, you can see what it is. So when you're new, like you may not know that that's a wool, right? It kind of looks like wool, but kind of like not really. How would you know that's a wheat? It looks like a little box of smoke coming out of it, but those are really 2 wheats, I guess, or something. Sugar cane, this is a feed for the animals, this is the battery, this is the water drum. Okay, so while I was talking about that, we got our second refinery built. Now I'm going to turn it on and say craft gas. And immediately we're going to see what the resources are. So it's getting 2 water drums because it gets 1 from this water pump and 1 from this water pump. Now you see the cleverness of this plan, right? I actually knew what I was doing. And there, boom, he's spewing out energy, right? Or smoke and fire, and he's making a gas already. That actually went pretty fast. What I was going to show you, though, I didn't think was going to go that fast, is he needs 6 energies. To build petroleum only needs 3. So if you hit the craft button here, see, building petroleum needs 2 energies, and building gas takes 6. So over here, let's check our supply. We still have 13 energy, but you can see if we start using 6 at a time, well, actually 3 at a time, I'll explain that in a minute. If it starts draining this, you're going to run out of energy pretty quick. Now, if we look at this again, it's already going again. It's going to tell us that it has 3 energy when it's done. And the reason is passive energy again. So this power plant provides like a 3-2-1 energy to everybody around it, okay? And so he's passing 3 energy passively to the building next to him, and this refinery is next to him as well, and it gets 3 energy, even though it only needs 2. So we are 3 energy short on this one, and that's why we're going to build yet another power plant. So now, assuming you have the money, make sure you have probably, I would say, 275,000 at least, or maybe even 300,000 before you do this, because you don't want to overspend your budget in city cash. So right here, we're going to stick it down. And again, it's going to take, just to review for you again, 10 lumber, 10 wood, and 10 energy. Now it's getting 2 energy because look at this. Here's this guy's giving a 3-2-1. So he's passively giving 2 energy even to the building of the building itself, which is cool. Okay. And now you can see why I put the paved roads exactly where I did across from the water pumps. And I put the power plants next to the water pumps because they need a water pump and they need a paved road. The other things here do not need paved roads. Okay. So now I'm curious, am I making enough crude oil? So I'm going to go over here and see, I have no crude oil in inventory right now. So that means basically as fast as I'm making my crude oil, it's getting consumed or eaten over here by this refinery. And that may or may not be a good thing. So let's check it out again here. Let's just watch for a second. Sometimes you just have to watch the game and see what's going on. So like there, see, boom, he's faster. He walked across the street, he dropped his petroleum in there, and now see, this guy's waiting on 2 crude oil, which may be okay. Okay, if you start selling a lot of things in your truck and boom, you're selling, you're going to need more gas. If you're only selling every 5 or 10 minutes, then this might be fine. So you have to judge how much gas you have. I have 4 gas here, and I still have my original gas out of my 40. I've got 33 left, the remaining at the top. Now, if you want to make energy as well, then that means you're going to need more crude oil because your first refinery will use 2 crude oils to make petroleum. And then if you want to make energy for whatever reason, you will need, let's get craft, I think it's 2 crude oils, and you're getting water passively. So you're going to need 2 crude oils to make a single battery, a single unit of energy. So to do that, you'd probably need at least 2 or 3 more pumps, crude oil pumps going on here. So you're going to have to make a decision as to how much, well, first of all, what do you need the energy for? Right now, there's nothing else on our board that really needs the energy. Okay. So at some point, I can probably get rid of these wind turbines. Let's like say I'm going to get rid of this one because I know he's slowing down my windmill. The other 3, for now, they're okay. But right now, that's going to pile up my energy. And once I get, I'm going to get rid of those water drums. So I'm going to do a flush. That's going to kill, excuse me. Excuse me. That's going to kill an energy as well. I don't care. So I turned my water facility off. And so I want all energies in this warehouse. And by the way, sometimes you'll have a little competition going on there where the waters will fill it up first, and or the batteries will fill it up. And so if you need to have water drums and energy in the same warehouse, you're going to have to be very careful and balance it, or you might need a couple more warehouses. The other thing you can do is auto sell your water and your energy. So like that's oftentimes what I end up doing is I say, okay, well, if I have like over 10 or 15 or 20 batteries, I start selling them. So you can come down here, just like you do any other product. You can say, okay, if I get, say, once I get 15, sell at amount. It really needs to be a multiple of 10. I don't know why they would allow that for the 15. Doesn't make sense to me. Let's see how we're doing down here now. See, we got 7 gas already, so we're actually cooking pretty good over here. So yeah, that everything I just did is what it takes to build a gas industrial complex, which you can see my video is divided into 2 pieces. I guess you can't see. So it's about 50 minutes to an hour it took me to do that, given that I had this almost infinite amount of money up here. Okay. And I can pretty much tell you that this setup right here will make most of the gas you need for the average game. It is sometimes possible, every once in a while, you might need one more refinery. And again, it all has to do with how you set your auto sell parameters and how smart you are of managing everything else. So like if I was selling a bunch of wool, well, actually wool's probably not a good example. Like what if I was selling wheat and sugar cane? Those are cheap items and they're going to go sell fast, right? So if you're selling little cheap items like that, boom, you could run out of gas real easily. But if you're selling things like wool and higher level items, like maybe uniforms, which we haven't got to yet, or sushi or cakes or something like that, you're going to have plenty of gas. Okay. But you're still going to have to keep an eye on it. You're going to have to check your little gas storage tank over here every 10, 15 minutes, I'd say, when you're first a beginner, and make sure you have enough gas in there. And at some point, you can delete this storage tank too. I would say as a beginner, use it right now to have that extra little bit of gas because you don't totally know what you're doing yet, right, as a beginner. And why get rid of it? Eventually, you want to put a building there, okay? And the buildings cost money. So let me give you one more example. This has nothing to do with the gas. So I just want to show you one more thing before we close out this video. Right here, I'm going to build a logger house. So right now we've been doing lumberjacks, but there's a faster version of the lumberjack that's on the farm screen here, and it's called the Logger House. The Logger House. That's weird. It's under the T's for the instead of the L's for logger. I never figured out why they did that. Okay, so we're going to put him right here. He costs $75,000, where I think this house only costs 1,500 or 2,500. But these guys are much faster. But now look how long it takes to build it. Now you need that energy. So the reason I wanted to show you this is that's why you need energy over here. And that's why you might want to keep your wind turbines just a little longer. Okay. You're going to need energy to build things like tractors. There's a thing called a farm tractor, which is basically a faster version of the farmer. There's a thing called an ATV, which is the faster version of the rancher. And then we just talked about the logger house, which is the faster version of the lumberjack. Okay. There actually is a faster version of the worker too over here, the construction worker, and it's called forklift or something like that. And by the way, you can build your industrial complex on the edge of your town, and your water pumps, instead of using a pond, I think they can go to an ocean and or a river. I'm not 100% sure about the ocean. That's the way other people play. They'll put their water pumps like down here, and that way they don't have to build the pond. And then they build the same more or less shape that I did here, but they just do it like in a sideways version or whatever. I think that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to do. This is one of the most important skills you can have. Then is how to do a rush and get some products that start making cash, and then secondly, how to build your industrial complex. About a year ago, I did a video called "The Phases of Townstar," and I think I divided it into 9 phases. And I forget the numbers right now, but one of the early phases was to make some cash and then to get your gas going. I think that was like phase 1 and 2 or 1, 2, and 3. At this point in the game, you now have to focus on what your goal of the game is. So let me just recap that. Every contest or every competition, they're more or less going to tell you what you need to make. They're going to say, like, this week, uniforms is the thing you need to make. And the way they tell you that is they increase the points of the uniforms or the stars, so that to win the competition, you pretty much have to make uniforms. Or they might tell you to make sushi, or they might tell you to make butter, or cakes or decorated cakes, or they might tell you to make candy canes, whatever. There's all these different products in the game, and each product is just a learning curve, but it all works the same. If you watch my beginner videos here, you learn how things work, and you learn how basically, like, what does it take for a sheep pen to make wool? Well, it takes water and it takes food, right? Well, sushi is similar. Sushi might take seaweed and shrimp or whatever, and it's going to give you the items that you need to build, and then you have to build them. And if you look at my videos and other people's videos over the last, especially the last year, but it even goes back 2 years, people have made many different builds for many different strategies and many different types of games. So if like next week in the contest, or when the contest starts, it's going to be May 9th, I believe now, instead of May 2nd for the May Mayhem. They want to give us 1 week to work out the bugs of Godot. And so on May 9th, they'll give us the specifications. And by the way you find that is, let me show you. You got to go to Discord. You pretty much need to be on Discord. I was just looking at somebody else's video here earlier today. Discord. Here it is. Okay, and then you want to go to Gala, and there's going to be a page somewhere where you sign up for this. You join the Gala group, which is this blue square thing here, cube, and then there's a whole section for Townstar. And what you really want to do is almost every day check the announcements. There's probably only 2 or 3 announcements per week, but you always want to read those and know what's going on. So I just clicked it. What happened? Okay, it took a while to load. So here's like for what they're telling us, the weeks of the competitions. And I'm going to scroll back and show you an example of the last contest we had. So here they'll give you the prize breakdowns and stuff. So see, last week we were from April 18th, Tuesday to Saturday. That's usually when the contests run. We were making something called a sushi boat, which was like in a restaurant. I guess it's like a platter with two different types of sushi on it. And so you had to make two types of sushi, and to make sushi, one of them was eel sushi and one of them was salmon sushi. And to make salmon, you had to have fishermen that go fish for the salmon. And then you had to make eels, which needed chum. No, the fish ate chum for bait. Anyway, there's just a series of steps. And I even make these flow charts on some of my videos, kind of I call it a bill of materials structure that shows you have to make this, to make this, to make this, to make this. And so in our videos so far on this beginner stuff, I've showed you like level 2 products. Well, a sushi boat is more like a level 5 or level 6 product. You have like 5 little other intermediate things you have to make before you can make a sushi boat. So you have to work your way up. And then here they tell you basically that this week, the thing that's giving you stars is 85,000 stars for sushi boats. And so again, if you want to compete, you're going to have to make those and nothing, I'm going to say not nothing else, but primarily make sushi boats. Okay. And then that tells you how much cash you get cash when you sell them too. And then here was the ingredients that I was just I actually forgot, right? So a sushi boat, you had to have a rice vinegar. To have a rice vinegar, you need 2 water, 1 white rice, and 1 sugar cane. To get white rice, you actually had to have a farm of husk rice, and then you had to go to a tent to turn it into white rice. And anyway, it just goes on and on and on, right? So there's a lot to learn. Also in the announcements, you'll see like when they sell NFTs, they'll say like next week, this NFT will be there. And it's going to be $130 to buy a seafood warehouse. And usually these will save you a lot of time in the game. But then the question is, do you really want to spend 130 on it or not? I say as a beginner, you probably don't. But as you get more mature in the game and you actually start winning competitions and winning Gala and stuff like that, then you might decide that it's worth it for you. So in summary, this video has mostly been about how to build your gasoline complex down here. Anywhere on the board you want to put it, but I just tend to put it in my lower right corner for some reason. And if I had a river over here on the right side, then I'd probably do it on the left side. I would just have to mentally flip everything, but it would the same way would work. So I hope this has been useful. Hope it was shorter than some of the other long videos that show you how to build the gas plants. And even though I was using up the almost infinite money supply here. So you see, I started out with 10 million and now I'm down to like 8.2 million. So you can see it basically, I spent nearly $2 million, actually 1.8 million to do this. And I had a little bit of income coming in from my wolf farms. But if this was a real game, ooh, we're selling batteries. You just went across the screen. If this was a real game, I would probably need like 10 sheep pens to do what I'm doing. And I might not have any windmills. I might just go with sheep. Might even have 10, 12, 15 sheep pens. And that way you're making wool $30,000 every 5 minutes or something like that. Okay. Everybody has their own what's called rush strategies. And again, the normal beginner strategy for doing a rush is to do sheep pens. Probably the fastest way to get cash. Okay. And I'm going to close out now. So thanks for watching. I have a link below the video. If you've not yet registered for Gala, I appreciate you use my link. There's a little bonus for that during this May Mayhem time. And go to also in the Discord. There's a discussion forum where sometimes I answer questions, but people are there all day long answering questions. There's kind of a good old boys club of people who've been there a long time, but they're usually pretty nice to beginners. And they want to encourage other people to start playing the game because it kind of helps everybody. So enjoy playing Townstar and the World of Gala. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Like this if it was useful. Share it with a friend. And there also is a video section inside of Discord where I'll post my videos as well, and other people do. So that's a special forum inside of Townstar videos. Again, I will see you later.